Let's now get you some updates from India. It's been a monumental stride towards media accountability. That's right, you heard it right. This is about media accountability that you're talking about. Now imagine, if you will, a world where accountability mirrors the weight of financial gain. Well, this could be possible. The highest echelons of justice in India have spoken out. And on Monday, the Supreme Court of India has decided to crack the whip. And it has said that fines levied upon certain errant television channels should be proportionate to the profits that they draw. The Indian Supreme Court has said that self-regulation of television channels is proven to be completely ineffective. The Indian Supreme Court has also noted that it does not wish to impose censorship on the Indian media, but it has pointed out that during coverage, like for instance in the case of Sushant Singh Rajput, the Indian media simply went berserk in its coverage. In 2020, the Bollywood actor's death whipped up a media frenzy. Some television channels virtually preempted the criminal investigation. Rajput's death in the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic had become a media obsession. It was fed by a wave of television coverage that gave more time to the late actor's case than to India's surging COVID-19 cases. Now, loud and boisterous television networks who are looking only for TRP flashed photographs of Rajput's body. They analyzed his medical history without even having access to a lot of his medical details. And believe it or not, these media channels even used voodoo dolls and graphics of a skull to hype allegations that black magic was being performed on the actor. And India's federal police, the High Court in Mumbai and the government's watchdog, the Press Council of India, had to criticize the coverage of this investigation. The court will now issue guidelines to strengthen regulation of television news channels in India. Now, currently, the penalty for television channels is just 1 lakh rupees. It has not been revised since 2008. And 1 lakh rupees for a television channel is a paltry sum of money. Especially for some of these big broadcasters in the country, it has raised some serious questions on the effectiveness of self-regulatory mechanism. A bench of Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, and Justices P.S. Narasimha and Manoj Mishra have said that unless rules are made more stringent, there will be no compulsion on these television news channels to comply. Now, it must be noted that self-regulatory mechanism has been set up by the NBDA, or the News Broadcasters and Digital Association. Now, this is a private association that was established back in 2007, which formulates the guidelines and regulates standards to be followed by the news channels on their own. But the question is, do they follow these guidelines? The Supreme Court has said that it is proposing to strengthen the framework that is set by NBDA. Now, this is what the Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, told the NBDA in court on Monday. Allow me to quote some of the most compelling excerpts. Now, the Chief Justice said, and I quote him, "Unless you make the rules stringent, no television channel has any compulsion to comply. We will strengthen the framework. We've seen the uplinking and downlinking guidelines, but we will also strengthen the regulations now." The SE bench has decided to strengthen the regulations while seeking suggestions on the current penalty of 1 lakh rupees. The Supreme Court has also noted that the current maximum fine has no teeth whatsoever. The Supreme Court said that it is concerned about the freedom of press, but at the same time, some channels take liberties with public reputation. Now, according to the Supreme Court of India, if there has to be a bite, then the fine, that is the penalty, should be based on the percentage of profits that these news channels in fact rake in. It has also said that this is going to be crucial to bring in accountability. So we stand to witness a decisive moment in India about media ethics, and the Supreme Court's observations will of course resonate far beyond the courtroom. It will forge a path for journalistic integrity, and will hope that journalistic integrity walks hand in hand with financial culpability. Now, so as the story unfolds, let's in fact ponder on the future as to where the cost of misinformation is being weighed in. It's not just in words, but also in the currency of truth. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.